Yo, welcome to another episode of Mystery Commander Theater 100. I'm Reptile or Freddy, and I'm joined by Synergistic or Rebel.
Hey everybody.
Yeah, and this time it's going to be another level 7 game, so similar, just with, narration over. We don't have the opening hands, so you'll have to guess what they were, as will I, because I was not a part of this game. It was just Synergistic, along with a couple of other people that we will introduce in a bit. But yeah, let's just get right into the commanders. Okay, so the commanders, we have Synergistic Tymna Thrasios, taking a tournament deck. Roy is playing Tivit. Luca, the other Kinnan player that has been featured before, is playing Kinnan. And we have Cliff, who's playing Malcolm Vial Smasher. Pretty fun pairing. So yeah, let's just jump right into the game.
Alright, so I will start us off this game. I draw my card, and I will play a Mana Confluence, play my Burst of Paradise. I do shuffle my deck. Yeah, no, it's pretty similar gameplay action as the other one. Roy goes for a turn 1 Morphic Pool, pretty honest and fair, magic. Wow, Lucas is popping off Chrome Mox into Mox Diamond into Tropical. We'll let him play Kinnan turn 1 and has protection for the Kinnan. So pretty good, pretty strong turn 1. We have Cliff playing a Marsh Flats. We'll probably fetch that after playing his Mana Crypt. So he has a turn 1 Malcolm. Likely we'll get an Underground Sea or Blue Source. So there it is. Plays the Malcolm and then we'll pass the turn to me.
Try to sneak that the Vial Smasher in.
I draw my card, play Rejuvenating Sea, I play Thrasios and then Thrasios, leaving 1 mana up for interaction. Royce takes his turn, plays land, on a Confluence, plays Arcane Signet, and passes the turn.
Yeah, nice and fair.
Yeah, pretty fair, wholesome magic by Roy. Luca goes through his turn, plays a Lotus Spell so has enough mana to activate Kinnan, but passes the turn. Not suspicious at all. Roy untaps or keep draws, plays an LED, equally suspicious, and swings at Luca for 2, triggering Malcolm, which will make him a treasurer. I untap, draw my card, play a land, play my Tymna, who's alive, go to combat with Thrasios to get a Tymna draw, and will then pass a turn. Always hoping to draw good cards with Tymna. Free spells are usually highly welcomed. In end of turn, Roy goes for a Knighting Tutor, gets a Ristic Study. I imagine that's going to be his turn 3 play. Hopefully gets a land with it. Plays a Ristic Study, resolves. End of turn, after the Ristic Study resolve, Luca flashes in Hullbreaker Horror, triggering Ristic Study. In response, Cliff casts Dark Ritual, also triggering Ristic Study. Looks like Cliff paid for it, and then casts an Adnos. And this one will not be able to play for Ristic Study, which will allow Roy to draw. We usually would skip this at the Adnos plays because nobody really cares what most people draw, but I just wanted to show how much interaction / all the combo pieces Cliff is able to get out of these Adnos. So at the start we saw the Thoracle and then we saw Fierce Guardianship, and he's going through a lot of mana right now.
Yeah, and I don't want to count you and Roy out, but it seems like after this, it's Luca gets to try to make a loop with the Hullbreaker Horror, but actually can't do it with the mana artifacts that are present right now, because Mox Diamond will get sacrificed, and you can cast the Chrome Mox for free, but you won't. So it's just you won't generate any mana right now. Yeah, immediately the first thing what you want to see, a Pact and Negation for your Breach line, and the Thassa's Oracle right at the top. There's Demonic Consultation. You have a lot of different ways you can take this and still at a pretty healthy life total.
This going reanimate for I don't know what. I mean, at this point you're kind of going. I mean, obviously I think the mana curve for this deck is like 1 point something, so he's pretty safe to keep going a little bit as much as he likes. Stops the Brain Freeze, so he literally has 3 combo pieces in hand, and then casts the Deadly Relic targeting the. No, sorry, he grabs a Deadly Relic targeting the Hullbreaker Horror. In response, I Chain of Vapor targeting Malcolm. Triggering Ristic. Both of those spells we couldn't pay, so I'm also just letting the control player draw cards because I want to be able to play the game and not lose.
It's true.
In response, Cliff casts a Mental Misstep targeting my Chain of Vapor, not being able to play for the Ristic. Roy draws a card, and then Roy will then cast his own Mental Misstep targeting the Mental Misstep, and I think at this point that stack will resolve. So counter the Mental Misstep from Cliff, my Chain of Vapor resolves, returns Malcolm to hand, and then I think the Deadly Relic is on the stack and resolves, killing the Hullbreaker Horror.
Yes, so that was one interesting stack. Notably 5 life left. Kinnan usually doesn't play any hasty creatures, so it looks like it might just be a swing on Kinnan. Just going for the mana crypt roll. I've done this before in tournament, man. It's so exhilarating when you're at 3.
Yeah. So here we got the roll. Even is safe, and he got a 2, so even is safe. At this point, we all know what's gonna happen. We're all pretty dead, but we just have to go to the formality of potentially there's an out if Glyph misplays it. So plays the Soul Ring, triggers Rhystic Study, plays on the War Breach, trigger Rhystic Study. Does not pay for it. In response, Luca plays a Swan Song, also triggering Rhystic Study. Roy draws. Back of Negation on the stack, countering the Swan Song. Is able to pay for the Rhystic Study at this point. Roy responds with the Force of Negation, targeting the Pack of Negation, or targeting the Underworld Breach, letting the pack resolve. And then Cliff went through a Force of Will. At this point, he had a bunch of cards from the Outlaws in hand and discarded it through LED first activation. Now he's going to be playing LED from the graveyard, but there's still Rhystic Study. So anytime he plays the LED, he needs to pay an additional land. The additional land, he does have that when he pops it for 3 and then pays for 1. At this point, he's kind of looking for the Brain Freeze line. Have enough mana to cast Brain Freeze at this point. Again, more of a formality.
Yeah, I mean, there is a Rhystic Study here, so whenever there's something that could affect the game, you usually just have to play it out until this point. But yeah, this is just going to be pretty standard. The LED does make 3, and Brain Freeze only does cost 2 with additional treasures, and eventually you're just going to get enough to cast your Oracle. Also, on top of that, when you have Pact of Negation with Underworld Breach, it's pretty much GG, at least in terms of things that can be countered, because you just replay it over and over and over again. So
yeah, you're not winning that stack war unless you're running out of cards in your graveyard. But yep, essentially Brain Freeze. We weren't keeping track of storm count, but we assume it was at this point again it was kind of done. So Oracle Brain Freeze line, as we kind of expect from a cEDH tournament, very common in the meta. So congratulations to Cliff. Good game.
Yep, one hell of a game. What a game. We weren't here to do that in person, do our little thing, but yeah, what a game.
What a game. What a game. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fast. And this is this is pretty standard for cEDH tournaments. Most of them, not all of them, will go to like turn 3, turn 4. Like this was pretty standard, I'd say. Sometimes people play stacks pieces, which will make it take a little bit longer. But no, I think if you go to a cEDH tournament, it's kind of what you can expect to happen.
Mm-hmm. And also a great awareness on Cliff to cast the. I mean, Ad Naus is an instant. He used it as an instant. Just kind of biding his time, waiting for the right moment. Saw that Luca was going to attempt to go for his win attempt with the Hullbreaker Horror, given another mana rock in his hand. But yeah, timing it very well. Playing it safe, but man, sometimes it's so hard to beat this. You wish you had red sometimes.
No, I don't. I am not smart enough to be playing on the War Breach lines. I feel like I get host with Oracle combo as it is. I feel like I would get host more on the War Breach lines.
Okay, so, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, you only play Simic, so you're even down to only 2 colors.
Hey, I play Simic because I'm poor. All right. Yeah. Well, we'll throw in a little origin story. Izuri was our first deck, going back to that, and Kinnan was just an upgrade. I didn't even want to play cEDH. It just ended up being a pretty cheap deck. Yeah, I don't have any duels, actually. It's just kind of crazy to think about for how long I've been playing.
Not yet,
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, anyways, congratulations to Cliff. Like we said, we were playing, this is actually a tournament round from our bots it's one of the tournament rounds, and you can find the full bot of the gameplay at the level 7's YouTube page if you're interested to see how the actual atmosphere of the gameplay is. Like, obviously edited the heck out of this game. But yeah, we are partnered up with them. We do some streaming at their store just to kind of grow the cEDH community in Colorado. It's kind of one of the goals we have. Yeah, fun game. Love to play at level 7. Great community. Like to feature some of the players there.
Yeah, and if you don't have a local game store to go to play, and you want to play in tournaments, we've also partnered with Chaos Tournaments. So I've joined one of their tournaments before. Nate has gone into a couple, and always runs pretty smooth. Good price support, and yeah, it's just all on Discord, pretty easy. First time doing it, really easy to follow. Didn't do that great. The games weren't as easy, but actually going to the tournament was pretty easy. So.
Yeah, and I guess we'll just we know there's a lot of online cheating that happens in those tournaments, but I think Chaos and even Mox Masters, it takes this cheating very seriously. So if they heard of like cases of cheating, they will like permaban the person.
Yeah, and
so-
hopefully there aren't more incidents. But as of the time of this recording, the most recent cheating scandal, that was my very first tournament. I didn't get to play against any of the cheaters, and everything still went well. They got appropriate actions taken against them. So yeah, they're serious about it.
For sure. Hopefully this is the last game that we do some audio recording on. We're still in catch-up mode, but should be getting more of our other content back. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching, and stay basic.
Yeah, keep it basic.